On the ground floor, we are lucky to be joined by the Bionic Man, Tim Tetrick, who's just having a fantastic Grand Circuit meet here at the Red Mile. And Tim, this is my favorite racetrack because you can win from off the pace. It's not a speed game like a lot of the 5/8 tracks on the East Coast. And as a driver, you must really appreciate not only being able to race like this, but it kind of changes your strategy a little bit.
It does a lot. It gives everybody a chance on the racetrack, and like you said, it's very, very fair. You can win on the front, off the pace, and you got to be careful not to overuse your horse because it will pay for it.
And speaking of overusing horses, we're all talking about the big race today, the showdown in the Tattersalls with the Captain, with Vegas Vacation, with Sunshine Beach, the only horse to beat you. Have you spent a lot of time looking at the program and developing scenarios, or are you just going to let it come as it comes?
And if you know me very well, I don't spend too much time on it. Just try to do the best we can and go at the race and race my horse's race. He's very versatile, and we'll see what's going on and see how the racetrack's playing, because if with the wind the way it is, sometimes it does make it change. So we're just going to play it by ear and just wing it.
Captaintreacherous can certainly win on the lead. He's a fantastic horse, but I've always thought he was a little better chasing because he just wants to win. He wants to stick his nose out there at the wire.
What a champion. He knows how to do it. He loves to get the job done, and he don't need the track, he don't need the trip. He does whatever he has to do. And when you're the heavy favorite, a lot of times you have to be up close and be on the front. And all the big races that he's won going for $1 million, he's done it off the pace. So he's very, very versatile.
You spend your entire life just for the opportunity to drive horses like this. Do you feel a lot of pressure, or are you able to relax and just enjoy the moment?
There's pressure with this horse, but the owners are great, the trainer's great, everybody's great with this horse. They just want me to take care of him and put him in spots to win, and the horse has well exceeded that, and he's done a great job, and I just enjoy getting to sit behind him. He's a great, great animal. They don't come along very often.
And we in the media always talking world record. I mean, we had a little poll in the press box. I've got 146-2, by the way, as the final time today. But you made a comment after last week's win that when you start chasing records, that's usually when you get beat.
It is. The records will come. Let them happen. That's my philosophy on it. If you go out there to try to look for a record, things happen, and you overdo it. So the horse is right on his game. He's on his tiptoes. He's been awesome. Last week he was great. 120 like he was nothing, and could he do it? Absolutely, he can. But it's gonna just have to let it happen.
All right, let's go through your mounts today and give everybody a little bit of handicapping insights. In the first race, you're driving number 3, Status Quo, some beach somewhere out of the Illinois champion, Loyal Opposition. A mare made $2.6 million. Tell us about this colt.
Well, he's not her mother. Her mother was awesome. I was lucky enough to drive her a few times, but he's a nice colt. He's coming. A little class drop here, so he's a horse that could jump up and win. I believe he can.
Moving on to the second race, another division of the late closer, number 2, Some Playa, another Some Beach somewhere for trainer Tony Alagna.
Another horse that's racing into shape. He's doing okay. He's got some talent, and nothing can say that he can't win.
Moving on to the fourth race, a division of the International Stallion Stakes. Your mount is number 5, Ideal Magic. It seems like he likes the lead, and really, he got pushed through some pretty fast fractions last week.
But I was very disappointed in this colt. The fraction should not have bothered this horse. I think he likes it, and and I qualified this horse early in the year and drove him. I love him. He's got a lot of talent. He just wasn't on his game last week. Not today. I think he did scope a little sick, so that should help him. And this is a talented colt.
Moving on to the fifth race, it's a division of the Glen Garnsey for the 3-year-old pacing fillies. You drive number 1, Scandalous Hanover. Dave Miller had a monster tough choice. He stuck with She Be Stingin', so you pick a live ride for Casey Coleman here, and I don't believe this filly's lost since Casey got her.
Nah, since she's joined the Coleman barn, she's done great, and what can you say about her? She wins. So Casey's a great trainer. Love driving for her, and hopefully we can have some luck.
And really, you haven't driven a whole lot for her in the past. This is kind of a good opportunity to get the foot in the door.
Well, yeah, I'm going to shove Dave Miller right off the circuit, so I'm putting the wheel under him.
Moving on to the sixth race, the big one. I know you say it's hard to say what's going to happen and that sort of thing, but in your mind, do you see yourself on the lead early, and do you want to control it, or do you want to wait and see what happens?
I don't know. I just see what happens. You got to see what Brian's going to do with his horse and a couple of the other ones. I hate to get pushed out there and go 26 or 25-4 here with him, but it helps. There's I got a friend. Tony's got another horse on the inside, so if I need help, it's going to be there. So, he's a good horse, so I don't think the trip's going to matter.
Moving on to the 7th race, another division of the International Stallion Stakes. Number 3, So Surreal. Tim, I love this colt. When I first saw him in the baby races at the Meadowlands, he's raced really good, but he's ended up second in his last 3. Does he need just a little more at the wire, or has it just been circumstances?
I think just all circumstance. He raced well enough last week to win. He got beat by a very sharp horse of Brian Brown's, and I put him on the front a little too quick. I think he got a little lost, but he still raced well. Paced home 26 and a piece. Hard to be mad at him, but he's a definitely contender.
I think this colt actually could be one of the top colts next year if he keeps progressing and puts it all together.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Moving on to Rayce Aid, another division of the Guernsey, the easier split on paper. Number 3, Parley Beach for Casey Coleman.
I was happy with her last week. We got a second big field from outside draw, and since she's joined the Casey barn, she's really picked her game up too, kind of back to where she was as a 2-year-old early in the year. She's definitely got talent.
Moving on to the 9th race, number 1, Cantab Jones in that late closing trot. I thought he was just sort of even when I saw him at the Meadowlands this summer.
No, I agree. He does have some talent, but he's kind of a problem child. He's kind of hard on himself and doesn't always want to get his mind on his game. But when he does, he can trot a little bit.
Moving on to the 10th race, 2nd division of the Tattersalls. You're driving number 6, Dee Dee's Dragon, getting in a little Ronnie Burke action here. That never hurts. And this is the colt that almost beat the captain in the 2nd week of Grand Circuit last fall.
Oh, I remember him. He had me scared there for a minute. Like when you get to drive for Ronnie, anytime you drive one, they can win because he wins more races than any catch driver does. So got a big stable, does good. And I've never driven this horse, but I've watched him, and you never know about Burke.
Moving on to race 11, number 6, Some Major Beach in the 2-year-old Grand Circuit race. What happened with him on the far turn last week? Was he a little green, just outpaced, or were he just rim riding?
Well, I got parked. I tried to remove him to the front, and Ronnie's horse was hitting the bike, and he couldn't let me go, and he was setting big fractions. So I just sat on him and tried to get a check and not hurt him, and he actually kept going and finished third. He just missed second, so I was very happy with him.
And in the 12th race, number 2, J.K. End of an Era won a similar late closer last week. Can history repeat itself?
Yeah, definitely. Good connections. This colt, he's a great big horse. He actually right now he won't even fit in the UFO. He's so big. So, he's got to ride in a Telstar, which I'm not a big fan of. But he's a horse that's coming along. He's starting to learn.
Yesterday, Tim, we had the closest finish I can remember in Grand Circuit history here at the Red Mile. It was a 5-horse photo in the 2-year-old filly pace. I thought maybe you got up on the outside with instant respect. An inch, an inch, an inch, an inch, and 2 inches between the top 5 finishers. What were your thoughts when you hit the wire?
It was amazing. It was a cool race, and all the way across the line, it looked like the start. It looked like the start. It was a tight finish, and I thought I got up, but I wasn't sure. I knew Andy's horse had some pace on the inside, but I knew I was beat when I seen Joe Holloway run down the track, so I knew I was beat.
And Joe Holloway looked like Usain Bolt, by the way he sprinted from the outside into the infield. The guy is very light on his feet, too.
He's got some moves.
He's got some athletic ability, no question. Can you beat Royalty for Life with your Sylvain tomorrow in the futurity?
I don't see why not. He raced really good last week. He's a very nice horse. He's going to have to get some luck going his way, and they're going to have to be some fractions. But, there's a couple trotters in there that's going to push Royalty for Life. Chuck Sylvester's trotter, which was awesome last Spider Blue Chip. He's got plenty of speed. So, it's going to be more fractions, hopefully.
And last question, the All-Raj pace tomorrow, a rock and roll dance against Pet Rock and those Stone Cold Killers. What a race that's going to be.
What a free-for-all division it's turned out to be, with the 4-year-olds coming back. And, it's such a great class. It's been great to watch, great to participate in for me. Luckily I got one of the favorites all the time with rock and roll dance. He's just been amazing all season. At the end of the year he didn't finish good, but he's come back like a killer this year.
Tim Tetrick, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck today. Good luck with the big horse and what is probably going to be the race of the year.
I sure hope so.
We'll take a quick time out. Gabe Pruitt will find out a little more about Pet Rock because Joe Mascara Jr. is our next guest on the Red Mile pregame show, so stay tuned. Blue